Hi everyone, welcome to HoneyBell Homestead. My name is Jim and this is Quinn, and we want to take you along today and show you our chickens. We've got chickens that we've been getting eggs from for about a year, a little less than a year. We've also got some baby egg laying chickens that we got about 6 days ago, and we have some Cornish cross broiler chickens that we got about 4 days ago. So we'll take you along and show you what we've got going. Here we are at our outdoor run area for our laying hens. So we've got the water, the over easy water that worked really well this year. It's just sitting on buckets to try and help hold the weight up, and obviously a couple bungee cords to help hold the weight up, but we were able to put a heater in that this past winter, and that helped a lot with this many chickens. Currently we have about 40, somewhere around 35 to 40. We just got them the flock block today. Quinn put in their run and they've been loving it. We'll take a little walk in there and we'll take a look at the door. So the only part that we kind of built that was semi-permanent here is the door in, and the chickens like to kick the mulch up against it, trying to keep us out, I think, but we're able to get in. There's a couple things for them to jump on in here. Kids put an old Christmas tree after the goats finished with it, a tire. We've got a couple of sticks for them to sit on, especially when it's rainy, for them to be able to get up off the mud. And we're finding out that we need more nesting boxes, which we will show you inside, because we just found about 30 eggs maybe back here behind this. Inside we've been getting 2 to 3 dozen a day. Probably 3 dozen on a real good day, but we're on our third automatic door. This one's the omelet, and it has been working very well. We can set it to what time we want it to open and close, or we could set it to daylight and dusk, but we've opted to just use it on the timer setting. And here are the girls hanging out. They seem to have found something over here. And Quinn is back. We'll go take a look inside at their run next. So now we're inside by the chicken coop. You can see here, this is where we keep the feed when it's not inside the coop, and I'll show you how we do that. But we had an extra window laying around here in the barn, so when we turned this into a coop, we put the window in, and that's really nice, being able to look in and see how they're doing. We'll take a closer look at them. Alright, so we've got a couple things. We just moved this wall from about here out that far, so it's still in progress a little bit here. We need to fix up the privacy screens on the nesting boxes, but we'll show you the nesting boxes as well. This is how we feed them. Just a 32-gallon trash can that we fill with feed and sprinkle oyster shells in there, and they can stick their heads up in there, and they don't waste too much. Although if we were to block off the bottom third or so with a piece of PVC, that would stop them from spilling even more. And we find that they tend to lay eggs in this corner as well, and so that's why with those eggs and the ones outside, why we need to build a third nesting box. So these nesting boxes are cool. We didn't invent the idea, but we got the idea from somewhere, that they are roll-away boxes. So they're slanted away from the chicken here. So the chicken lays, and about half the time, or maybe more than half the time, the egg rolls backwards underneath here, and you may be able to see some back there, and the chickens then can't reach them to peck at them or step on them or get them dirty, and it's very nice to be able to collect clean eggs.
Do you see how like this one's like fluffing?
Yep.
It's on the feather. Look at this one. Look how fluffing she is.
Oh wow. She may be brooding. There's a couple of them that are sitting in here. They may be getting broody on us and sitting on eggs, and they get a little upset when we try to take their eggs. So now I'll show you where we collect our eggs for these girls. And like I said, this is where we keep our extra feed, so we can buy about 6 50-pound bags at a time and put 3 inside the coop and 3 outside here. So currently, if you watched our goat video, you saw a little bit of this, but currently in order to get our eggs, we have to come into the goat area. So here is Quinn holding Oakley.
Yeah, and she loves to suck on my
Here's
fingers.
Bean, and there's Willow trying to sneak by, and they want to eat on my shoelaces. That's their favorite treat. So we're going to step into the goat area here. And Quinn is our egg girl, so she comes out every day and gets the eggs, and she makes sure the chickens have water and food.
There's a new one in there, but she haven't laid,
okay.
so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16 in that one.
All right.
17, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 30.
So that's all for the laying hens. We got about 30 eggs today. Quinn thinks there might have been 2 more up under a chicken,
Yeah,
but
there
we'll
might
take
have been
you.
more, but that's all I saw.
We'll take you and show you our baby laying chickens next. So here we are now at our brooder for our future egg layers. We just got about 6 days ago or so, we got 25 more chicks. Quinn, you want to show them our brooder?
Yes, I do.
So what do they have in there?
A heating thing. And they have water and food. This one has to be filled. And the heating lamp.
And the lamp. So they've really enjoyed this. The heat plate is the first time we've used that, but they have enjoyed it, and it's been getting cold, upper 20s to low 30s at night since we got these ones, and they're doing great. They're filling out well. One of the things we're trying this year is I cut a hole in between the big chickens coop area and the back of this brooder. This brooder wasn't here last season, but we moved it here, and I'm hoping that by the time these little ones are ready to be introduced to the big ones, that they're all familiar with each other, they've smelled each other, they've heard each other for a month or so, 6 weeks or so, depending on how long it takes these ones to get big enough, and that we won't have any issues with that. So Quinn is doing the chores and making sure they have food and water. And next we'll take you over to show you our broiler chicks that we just got as well. So here we are in the brooder room for the broiler hens or broiler chicks. And they do pretty well with just the one heat lamp, as it's a smaller brooder and they grow very quickly.
I'm trying to pick
We got these last Saturday. So they are 6 days since they arrived here. I think they may have been born on Thursday night. So they're just over a week old. And we'll have to start weighing out their food soon. So far they've just been on a free feed. But we'll get into it later as they get a bit bigger. We'll show you how we weigh our food, or exactly how much we give them and how they turn out. So now we're back outside and we'll show you the last part of our our chicken operation. For us is the Siskovich chicken tractor for those brooder chickens when they come outside. So if I remember right from last week, it's only about 2 weeks from the time they get out of the brooder, depending on the outdoor temperature, until they will move into this structure. We have the chick lift that we saw on Sow the Land with Jason on Sow the Land, and that worked great for us last year for being able to move the machine with only one person. We're always trying to fiddle with the water situation. It never works just how we think it will. Same with the strings hanging. If you can see these, trying to hang a half PVC pipe to put their food in, but they tip it over and it ends up falling off. So we'll change it around a little bit this year and just keep fiddling with it until we figure out what works best for us. But the chicken tractor design has worked great. So that's our chicken setup, from our baby egg layers to the big egg layers, and the baby broilers to where the big broilers will be, and we'll show some more of that throughout the spring and summer. We hope you enjoyed it. Bye.